Hey, how's it going, everyone? You all right? Welcome to Hauppauge Gaming's podcast, live stream podcast. My name's Dan. I'm your host for tonight, aka Light It Up. We're joined by a few other folks. Guys, do you want to introduce yourselves?
Yeah, sure. I'm Skip. I'm one half of the Markio Bros. I stream over Twitch and I make videos on YouTube.
Cool beans.
Hi, I'm Steven. I stream on Twitch. My Twitch is Twitch TV Steven, and I mostly stream FPS shooters like Call of Duty.
We're going to be talking about Call of Duty a little bit tonight as well, so it'll be interesting to get your opinion on that, Stephen. Anyway, I personally stream on Twitch as well. I stream Neverwinter and Chivalry. I'd say they're my core games over on Twitch, and I've got a YouTube channel as well. I mainly do a lot of Dark Souls content on there, but a few other games here and there as well. It's quite a large variety. Hello everyone that's in the chat as well. It's a great turnout here. Thank you for joining us, folks. It's absolutely awesome to have you here. So, guys, how long have you been streaming for? Stephen, how long have you been streaming for, bud?
I've been streaming since October, but I did take a month break, which I shouldn't have because it really affects your viewership. You really gotta stay consistent.
It makes a big difference, doesn't it? It does make a big difference.
Yes, you will lose pretty much what you already had. So don't take no breaks.
Yeah, man. How about yourself, Skip?
I've been streaming, well, initially I did YouTube with Machinima for quite some time, and then I switched over to Twitch, which is a completely different animal, I've got to say. It's completely different. But I've been streaming on there for about 6 months, surprisingly. Right. And I've just come on in leaps and bounds. Took on by the Unprofessionals group, which is a Minecraft group, and then took on by Family Strong. And both groups are fantastic. They've supported me so much.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, support is great.
Cheers to us. Let's hope that we soar and get some front page time, you know what I mean?
Come on.
Right, so shall we get to our first topic then, guys? We happy with that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Alright, okay. So we've got the DualShock 4 light bar, and a lot of confusion surrounding this. This is referring to the PS4's controller. It's got that blue light bar, that display there, and people didn't know what it was for. It was very hush hush for a long time. People were like, what the hell's all this about? I can't dim it. How do I get rid of it? I mean, have you guys got PS4s yourselves, or?
No, I don't have a PS4. Not yet.
Not yet.
No,
on the wish list.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely on the wish list.
I've got one, Ryan. I've got Assassin's Creed 4, and I've barely played it because, for a start, you can't record on it unless you've got a splitter. So that's a pain in the bum.
Well, they just removed the DHCP. Now,
have they patched it? Have they just?
Yeah,
patched it?
it's in the settings. You'll find it in the settings.
Right, I'm gonna have to whack that out then.
They did it like last week or this week. I don't remember. I'm not too sure.
GG. Right. Okay. So with regards to that, to the blue bar, they've just announced recently that it's to do with their Project Morpheus, their virtual reality, Sony's virtual reality, which is pretty damn cool. Have you guys heard about that at all? Have you read up about it at all?
Yeah. I've known about Morpheus since its pre-release,
Okay.
but the blue bar on the controller, the first time I saw that was when you can use it as a wireless pointer remote kind of thing, so you can point it at the screen and do messages with it, rather than having to use analog. You can do it that way. But Morpheus has come in and just completely took over the Xbox version. Really,
it tracks your motion of looking up and down, to the right and left. It's pretty awesome.
Oculus Rift it's nice, but it's very, very sketchy.
Very Facebooky.
Completely upgraded.
Well, everything's gonna be like that in the first stage, you know?
Yeah.
Until they make updates and stuff.
But Morpheus's updates have surpassed any level that Rift has done, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I still think that virtual reality I still personally think that gamers aren't after virtual reality because it's still too constricting. you've still got wires coming out of you everywhere, out of every single orifice that you can imagine. You've got wires coming out of you, and you're kind of constricted. Instead of doing a fluid 360 motion, you'll turn around like this, and then loop back around like that. You know?
Yeah, it'll be a little weird for everyone that tries it out. I mean, nobody. Well, most people don't like change, so you know how that is.
That is true. That is true. I mean, would you guys agree with me there that it's still too early for VR? What would you say, Skip? Would you say that that you like the look of Morpheus, or what would you say, man?
I do like the look of Morpheus.
Yeah.
I think we are encroaching on an age where VR is susceptible. You know, it's got that chance to grow.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think there's still some kind of progress that needs to be done with it. Definitely. I think it's a very sketchy stage of development.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well,
I think we're ready for it.
I mean, I would love. I think it'd be pretty actually cool to try that game out.
Yeah.
Because you're just moving around. You got the thing on there, and you see like they're right in front of you, and you're moving around. Like it's all interaction.
And then a massive shark just comes out of nowhere and tries to bite your head off. So you think it'll be good as well then, Stephen, or what do you reckon, man?
Well, it seems pretty cool, but I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. It's gonna be a little weird for some people.
Yeah, I'm of the opinion that until we're talking like holograms, we're talking wireless, you know, ridiculously futuristic sort of VR, I still think that gamers would prefer, after an hour on virtual reality, after feeling completely sick and hideous, that they just want to pick up a controller and, you know, and get back to playing a shooter the way they play a shooter, playing an RPG the way they play an RPG. But I don't know, you know, that's what opinions are there for anyway, I guess. You know?
Yeah, definitely. I think the only thing I'd have a problem with is the fact that there'd be a weight on your head for such a long amount of time.
Yeah.
Is that going to cause health issues? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is it going to cause issues with the spine and stuff? I don't know. Hopefully it's lightweight.
Well, someone said in the chat that gamers only need a pad, and that's really interesting because it's kind of what I'm referring to there. But yeah, I mean, different people have got different opinions, and a lot of people are really backing VR, and a lot of people are pretty angry at the whole Facebook Oculus Rift fiasco as well. So I don't know.
We get some Farmville.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
VR Farmville.
Yeah. That
Some
could
3D
work.
Farmville.
That could work.
That could work. That's a great idea.
I know that they've I think for the Oculus Rift they've made a VR version of Pokemon, a VR version of Zelda, and there's another game that they've done, but I can't remember at this moment in time. But it looks good.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Pokemon one not so good, but the Zelda one isn't too bad. It's not too bad at all.
Did you guys see the VR version of literally using Facebook?
No.
I saw that and I was just like, why does this exist? What is the point of this?
What? There's a VR version of using Facebook?
Yeah, as in like you're sitting down on your Oculus Rift in this like virtual room, and there is a massive screen in front of you where you can use Facebook and whatever.
Now, that would be so bad if the screen inside was like 1080p and you could play games on a larger screen. Like that would be cool, because you could have no screens and just sit there on your couch, just massive screen, you know, like 60-70 inch screen, and just play games within a headset. That would be a cool idea, but you know,
it exists because Facebook bought Oculus as target feet. Yeah, absolutely. What do you guys think about the whole Oculus Rift thing, the whole Facebook Oculus Rift thing? Do you think that's a lot of gamers are up in arms about it? They're pretty angry about it. Personally, I didn't really care, but
Yeah, it's somewhat in the middle.
yeah, somewhere in the middle.
My Facebook bought it.
They don't care for it, but then they think it'd be cool to try it, probably.
Yeah. But the guys that are behind the Oculus Rift thing initially said that it's a great move for the actual platform, for the VR console. They said it's a great move, and they really backed the fact that Facebook bought it. But I suppose, well, maybe they had to. You know, I don't know. Who knows?
I don't think that. I mean, the Oculus Rift was brought out by Razer, wasn't it?
I don't know. I can't remember. I can't remember the guys that brought it out.
I'm not. I don't remember. I don't recall.
I thought it might have been like a completely different studio, or like an independent studio that did it. I'm not sure. Are we all frantically Googling?
No.
Still like keyboard typing.
No, there's no proof there.
No, I'm playing Minecraft. Stop it. Shut up.
I have been. I've been playing already.
I was trying to check who it was from originally. That's what I'm.
I know it was a Kickstarter project. I know that.
Yeah. Okay. I couldn't see it being Razer if it was a crowdsource funded project. Kickstarter.
I'm wrong. No, it was a single guy. Fair play to him.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. GG.
Okay. So. Oh man.
But I really like the look of that game, the Deep, the Project Morpheus demo. I mean, have they played any other games? Have they demoed any other games using the Morpheus gear, or is it just that Deep game that they've?
I think it's just a Deep game. I'm not sure. Unless chat knows differently.
Yeah, let us know.
Guys know. If you guys know in the chat any other games that have been posted by the Project Morpheus, be sure to comment below and let us know.
Absolutely.
Get involved, man.
Damn right. Right, let's move on. I think we've covered that quite nicely actually, and it's all said our piece. So are we all okay with that? We all good with that?
Yeah.
Cool beans. Right. So, or excellent. I'm standing too young. Standing too young. Roll back and talk about weather, mowing the lawn. Come on. Old man shoes.
Win barely fail.
Absolutely epic, man. Epic. So we've got more signs that the Xbox One leak was real. So this guy from who was allegedly connected to Microsoft posted on the NeoGAF forums a bunch of stuff that was going to happen in the whole Xbox One world in the coming months and years as well, in fact. And now one of those things has actually come true. Sunset Overdrive, the Insomniac Games game, has just released a bunch of footage. It looks pretty damn cool. What are your thoughts on the guy posting out these leaks, posting out these spoilers? What do you reckon, guys? What do you reckon about that? What's your initial reaction?
What do you think, Dave?
I don't know. My computer's a little freezing right now. Okay, there we go. So I missed a little bit what you said.
I was saying with regards to the leak for Sunset Overdrive and a bunch of other Xbox One stuff that guy posted on the NeoGAF forums a while ago. And he's mentioned the Halo 2 remake. He's mentioned the white Xbox Ones, which are purely for the Microsoft employees, but might be open to the public soon, etc., etc. Some of those things have started coming true now. I mean, what's your initial reactions with the guy mentioning the leaks? Do you reckon he was legit?
Well,
do you reckon he just picked things up, or?
It could be in the middle. Like, you never know if he, worked there or whatever, for sure, and stuff like that. I mean, there's always that one person that has information that nobody is supposed to know and leaks sometimes.
Yeah. Well, do you know my initial thoughts with all that sort of stuff? All that sort of stuff is that it's a complete marketing ploy. I mean, that creates so much hype. It creates so much hype, and then people are talking about the fact that it's a leak. People are talking about the fact that it's this mysterious stranger in person that's provided all this information, and then you get Kotaku featuring articles on it. You get GameSpot featuring articles on it, IGN featuring articles on it, and it creates all of this enthusiasm and hype. So that's my initial reaction. What would you say, Skip? Would you agree with that, or?
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I think that the hype that can be brought from either game or console leaks. I mean, look what happened when look at the E3 when there all the mention about the PS4 bringing out higher software. I think it's also. I think the guy, where is his name? I forgot his name. Isn't it? Oh God. I think I forgot his name. I think he's either doing two things. He's either trying to amp up the sales and the hype for the new hardware and software that's coming out, or he's just trying to take a knife in the back of Microsoft.
Yeah, yeah. If he's connected to Microsoft and it's the latter that he's trying to stab them in the back, then I don't know. Maybe he doesn't really like them very much, and something happened.
Yeah, I think the games that he mentioned were some of the biggest series of games that came out, and the games that had the most attention when they came out. So Forza Horizons, that was one of the biggest driving games after Gran Turismo and Grand Theft Auto and all that kind of stuff, like early games, especially Turismo. I think that when he's on about Forza, and then obviously Halo has already had an anniversary edition with an advanced version. So a second remake, I think the games that he's mentioned really attract a large part of gaming, two large sectors of gaming: first-person shooters and driving simulators.
Absolutely.
So this Sunset Overdrive is a futuristic driving game or something with monster drinks. Isn't that right?
Well, it's actually a third-person game. Insomniac Games, the guys that created Ratchet and Clank, that sort of universe, huge games. Which interestingly,
great game.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant game. Absolutely agree with you, Stephen. Absolutely agree with you. That was PS3 only exclusive, wasn't it? And Sunset Overdrive is Xbox One exclusive, made by Insomniac Games. So that's really, really interesting for a start. But looking at Sunset Overdrive, it's a third-person sort of open-world, free-roaming game. It's a shooter, and you're parkouring all over the shop as well. A lot of platforming involved. Looks like a ton of fun, but it really reminds me of Infamous, with like riding on the rails and stuff. The kind of the parkouring, the wall running, and the free falling, all that sort of stuff. It looks really like Infamous to me, but with a kind of weird Insomniac Games twist on it. Tiger Feet said in the chat there that most companies have legally binding NDAs, non-disclosure agreements, that all employees are required to sign. Often they'll ask you to sign one before even allowing you into the building. So there might be foul play involved if the person is connected to Microsoft, especially because Microsoft is a giant corporation. It's not just like a tiny little indie studio. It's like it's a pretty big deal. It's Microsoft, So it's interesting. It's really interesting. Really, really interesting.
It is. I don't know what they're gonna do next.
I
don't know. I don't know what that ploy is. Well, wherever it is, it's big. Either way.
Well, it's got everyone talking, and
oh yeah, definitely. I mean, look at us. We're talking about it right now.
We're talking about it right now, man. Streaming live, And I do think it's a really interesting move that they've put it only on Xbox One as well, because Insomniac Games, Ratchet and Clank straight away. I think PS3. So that's a really interesting move. So I don't know. Any more thoughts on that, Stephen, at all, or?
Not really.
Fair play. No, it's all good. That's all good. Let's have a look. Right, okay. And the next topic that we've got to speak about, folks, is the new Hauppauge capture software. By the way, guys, how do you pronounce it? Do you pronounce it?
I say Hauppauge.
You say Hauppauge?
Yeah,
Hauppauge.
I know. Yeah, I know some other people say Hauppauge.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's an odd name.
Everyone I've spoken to pronounces it differently. Literally, every single person I've spoken to pronounces it differently. So when I go in my head to say it, I'm like, "Ugh," and it just does not come out right. But we'll go with Hauppauge or Hauppauge, something like that. But they've just released the new version of their capture software. They've got improved MP4 functionality. I know a lot of people dig the MP4 file type. But what do you guys render out to for you? Sorry, do you both do YouTube as well?
I don't do YouTube.
You don't do YouTube, right? Okay, Stephen, fair enough.
Okay.
With yourself,
Skip.
Go on,
MP4s are a smaller file size for rendering. So like once you've made your video and you put it into your edit, where you in your edit timeline and everything, once you've got it to a point where you're happy with it, when you go to render it in MP4, it's a smaller file, and it's a really good quality.
Yeah.
Whereas I'd like to do it in AVI, but I want, like, true story. Once I made a 1 hour video split between 3 videos, and yeah, it was like 41 gig. I was what? Why is it taking like 18 hours to render? And that's why, because it's 41 gig. It started up as 3.
Yeah. It's interesting because it's funny that you say like MP4's small file size and that's what you go to, because my preferred file type is WMVs, and they come out really, really small. Like, I'm talking a half an hour video comes out at 1.5 gigs, something like that, and it retains great quality and the sound quality is good and stuff like that. You know, I've never heard any complaints from those files. But then you look at MP4s and they're literally like 10 times the size. So that's pretty interesting. But yeah, the improved export functionality is one of the things for the new capture software there, which is pretty interesting. They've got a bunch of new other things as well, like optimization updates, reducing the PC requirements for recording and playback, and they've got, obviously you got your standard bug fixes and stuff like that as well, which is pretty interesting. Let me just take a look at this. Sorry.
Yeah, I know.
And they added the hockey, which is really helpful, I'm sure, to people. Like, you just gotta hit the space bar real quick, and you know, hit it real quick in case you need it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. What do you guys think, just generally, overall, of the Xbox One as well? Like, I don't know, with comparison to the PS4, generally, what do you think of the Xbox One, folks?
We could be sat here on this conversation for hours. I'm telling you, we could, because so many people side with one company or the other. And I think that I always go by hardware and software.
Yeah.
Like, I always go by the games as well. Those are the 3 main factors of the console to me.
Yeah.
The Xbox 360 brought it, and in my opinion, they had a stronger console than the PS3.
Yeah.
So I sided with PS3, with Xbox 360. In this case, I'm siding with PS4 only because their hardware it's a touch better. Their RAM is DDR5, and they're both consoles are using 8 GB. But DDR5 is larger programs, larger instances, but smaller amounts. Whereas DDR3, you can have lots of little programs running, but they have to be lots of little programs.
Yeah.
So for the Xbox One, say, of course, you've got all of the social features like Twitch, Facebook, your Twitter, you've got your Skype that you can message on now. You can move your menu over to one side and bring up your social commands and all that kind of stuff. Which is why DDR3 is best for that console. If they was to use DDR5, it wouldn't have that functionality. It'd crash, probably.
Yeah.
But PS4 have concentrated on the fact that they can do larger instances, but fewer of them, which is providing a more powerful console.
Yeah.
So, in aspects of that, I think PS4's got it down.
I think, to put it less technically, I think the PS4 looks sexier.
Well, yeah, it looks wise, but...
Oh, yeah, I'd put a dress on that.
You
putting
guys
that one out there.
You guys gotta remember also... You guys gotta remember also that the DX12 update is coming out, and it's promising twice the performance of what it's gonna be of the Xbox One.
Stephen has spoken. GG.
Okay, that I didn't know. Steve bringing all these things to the table.
Oh, damn.
So twice the performance, so it should be a little bit above the PS4.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not too much, but it's gonna be past the PS4.
Okay. Well, people are saying in the chat as well, I don't have an Xbox One or a PS4. I've got a PC, so I need neither. So, you know, there is that as well. There is the whole master race argument. There is the master race argument.
Like, I've got a PC, of course. I'm
Yes.
doing it right now. I stream daily, pretty much, on it. But you still gotta have a console. It's still nice to have a controller in your hand now and again.
I know what you mean, man. I know what you mean. The thing about both of them, and I'm not split one way or the other. I have always been on Sony's end. I like PS3s. I like the games that Sony comes out with, that PlayStation comes out with, and I've got a PS4 as well. I doubt I am going to get an Xbox One anytime soon anyway, but I really do not have, like, I'm not like a diehard Sony fan and screw Xbox and blah blah blah, nothing like that. But for both of the consoles, there just aren't really any games out. The game libraries are tiny. There's nothing out, you know, unless you just want to pick up literally anything that you're not that into. Like I love RPGs. Like, what the hell's out there for me? But Xbox One and PS4, there's nothing. Really?
No. Exactly. I think Final Fantasy are bringing out a new game, but look at the last two.
Yeah,
we'll talk about that one.
No, we don't. I'm huge on how Final Fantasy 15 looks. It looks absolutely fantastic, and I'm really stoked for it. That's going to be ages down the line. Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to be ages down the line.
Oh god, when that comes out, I'm going to be all over that like a bad
Tell me about it. Tell me about it, mate. Goofy won't know what hit him. Tell me, seriously.
I'm telling you. You'll be laughing like all day long.
Right, are we all happy with that then, guys? With the new things that the Hauppauge capture software is going to be bringing out as well, but has brought out with this new update. Are we all happy with discussing that, folks?
Yeah. I'm just happy that they've fixed some of their bug fixes, man, because some of the crashes were annoying. But now they've fixed it. I'm so happy.
There's a lot of stuff with the Twitch functionality as well, which obviously makes a big difference to folks like us that like to stream, that like to live stream. But yeah, no, really interesting stuff. I'll have to grab that myself, actually. I don't think I've actually downloaded it, but I will have to grab that. Okay, so I've been looking forward to talking about some of this stuff, and I'm sure you have as well, Stephen. So what can we learn from the first Call of Duty Advanced Warfare screenshots? Right, thoughts, guys. So I'm going to leave this one open again to you guys, and then I'll chip in. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, Stephen, I don't know about you, but I think that they tried to bring a new game out. I think they've tried to bring a new game out. But I think what they've done is they've tried to make it a little bit more futuristic. Okay, Black Ops, they brought out like a more futuristic kind of thing. Black Ops 2 even further. But this new Advanced Warfare kind of thing, I don't know. Me and my brother was talking about it the other day, and he mentioned that it was looking a lot like
Titanfall.
No, not Titanfall. I think he either said Graw. What was the other game that he mentioned? I've lost it. He did mention another game. He said it was a lot like another game, but it's whatever they're trying to do. It's nice to see that they're not doing what they did with Ghosts and Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah.
If you guys know what I'm on about.
Yeah.
Like the ending.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about with that. All I know is that being someone that enjoyed Modern Warfare 1, playing it as a multiplayer game with my mates. Modern Warfare 2 was good fun as well, playing that with my mates. I've never really owned the Call of Duty games myself, but I've always enjoyed going over, playing 4 players. That's great fun. But it seems to be the same sort of formula over and over again. And now they're kind of, from my perspective, in my opinion, they're kind of masking it by throwing exoskeletons on them and a wool cap on top of the exoskeletons as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, okay, it's kind of cool watching someone leap over from one side to another, but it's getting a little bit ridiculous as well. I mean, are you what? Are you Halo? Are you Titanfall? Are you Call of Duty? What are you? Which
a mix of 3.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? It totally is. And that's not to say that these games don't have the artistic license to go in whatever direction they want. Of course they do. Come on, of course they do. But I can't help but feel like I'm watching this and thinking this is getting ridiculous now. You know, are the Call of Duty fans really into this? I mean, Kevin Spacey's there just chilling out. What's going on? You know.
Well, Either way, all those Call of Duty
Talk at
fans
the
are gonna buy it
windows.
regardless.
I
Whatever,
agree, Steven.
before we even check it out.
I agree, Stephen. That's the thing. We know that there is a set market share of Call of Duty fans that are going to buy it, regardless.
Yeah,
we know
definitely.
that. So
Prolific
they've
fans,
got the brand.
prolific fans, yeah.
Yeah.
People that'll buy the game even though they know they bought it 5 years ago.
Yes. Yes. About 15 times, but
Yeah.
you know. Okay. I don't think there's that much more to say about this. I mean, we've checked out the screenshots. The exoskeletons are interesting.
They look nice. The extra. Oh, that was the game, Crisis. That's what it looks like. It looks like Crisis.
Okay.
But the exoskeleton looks like Crisis.
Okay.
Like with all of the mods and everything that you can use as well. Crisis. Not Raw, Crisis. That's the game. That's
Well, if they whack out a bow and arrow, then we're gonna start waving the Crisis flag.
Brings out a tech bow.
Oh God, here we go. Oh gosh. Right, now this brings us on to our more interesting side of talking about the new Call of Duty. Again, sorry if we are absolutely offending you here, Stephen. You must want to punch us right now, man.
Nah,
But
I was a Halo fan at first, so.
Oh, you're a Halo fan first, and then Call of Duty fan second. Is that right?
Because Halo 4 and Reach were just no.
No.
They were just pretty badly.
Oh damn.
So,
ODST did it for me. As soon as ODST came out, I was just, I'm done.
Out of there. Suck it, Minecraft.
Yeah, just no.
we'll see what happens when Halo 5 comes out and Destiny.
All right, okay, yeah, that'll be interesting. Yeah, got some interesting things to talk about with Destiny later as well. But right, so with the with the user-defined tags that are on Steam, is everyone familiar with this? By the way, the user-defined tags. Let us know in the chat as well, folks. We are reading the chat. We just got a lot to discuss, so we're not ignoring you. We do have that up side by side. Are you all familiar with the user-defined tags on Steam? If anyone's not, by the way, folks, it's basically anyone in the Steam community can tag any game with anything that they want. So the new Call of Duty has already been trolled a little bit by the user-defined tags, which is quite interesting. And some of the things that they've been tagging it with is we've got casual, we've got kawaii, we've got point and click, walking simulator is one of my favorites. Fish, yeah. Female protagonist is pretty good as well.
That got me, fish.
Yeah.
For the win.
We were saying earlier as well, the Kevin Spacey tag is pretty good, even though he is in the game. But just tagging a game with Kevin Spacey, so someone's going to be, on Steam just searching for games. Like, what do I fancy playing?
Pixel graphics.
Yeah, pixel graphics is another good one.
Horror. Call of horror.
And the games that come up with it from the tags, like the recommended games, it's just Freddy Fish,
Yeah.
Putt Putt, which is a little train-looking car thing,
Oh.
and Pez. I don't even know.
Oh god, yeah. Oh, Fez is this indie game, and it's a really cool game actually. But it's just like it's a platforming game. It's nothing to do with Call of Duty. But
Yeah.
that is amazing. That is amazing. One of those games that are below, Transistor, the new game that's coming out by Supergiant Games, the guy that made the guys that made Bastion. That looks like a frigging good game. Transistor looks like an awesome game, guys.
When Bastion came out, I was blown away by how nice it looked.
Right, yeah.
It was fantastic. But
Did you play it?
I didn't know. I think I played the demo of it just
Right.
to find out what it was like.
Yeah.
But,
It was,
I don't think Call of Duty's
Right. By the way, Joe asked Nitro how you say it, and she said it's Hauppauge. Hauppauge. Now I don't know how he means. He said HAW-PAWG. Hauppauge. Is that how you would read that? Hauppauge. But anyway, it doesn't matter. That's by the by.
Up to date. We'll just call it awesome.
We'll call it the awesome.
Awesome gaming. There we go. Change the name to awesome gaming.
Yeah, so some people in the chat are excited by Transistor. Weaver's excited by Transistor as well. And any of you folks as well, have you played Bastion? Are you excited by Transistor? What are your thoughts on that, guys? Let us know. Let us know. Be quite interesting to know what you have to say about that. But yeah, so do you guys think that these user-defined tags? Do you think it's a terrible idea? Do you think it's a good idea? Because personally, I think if there is opportunity to troll something, the trolls will come and troll it. That's my opinion.
Even if there's nothing there to troll, they'll just give it a go.
They'll give it a bash. You know what I mean?
They'll come from underneath their bridge. They'll gotcha then, didn't I? They'll come from underneath their bridge and they'll start trolling either on a professional scale or a newbie scale, whatever.
Professional scale.
I've seen professional trolls, my friend. I've seen professional trolls. Guys that come in and they troll on such a level that you're not quite sure whether they're trolling you or not. You're like, are you messing with me right now? I'm just like, yeah, but on a professional scale. I was like, that's genius.
The kappa is so strong, it's almost non-existent.
Incognito kappa.
Incognito kappa. What about yourself, Stephen? Do you reckon that the tags are just? Do you think they're a ridiculous idea, or what do you reckon?
I mean, people are gonna do what they do. I mean, it's whatever. I mean, they should allow like certain tags, maybe. Like they should be like moderated, probably. But
You mean like walking simulator for Call of Duty?
Pretty much.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
It's
It's gonna happen. When the opportunity to troll is there, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. But moving from one shooter to another, well, yeah, I guess we can call it a shooter and a few other things. The Last of Us, one of the games to play of last year. It was last year. It was 2013, wasn't it?
Yes, I believe it was June 14th. It was released. I believe it was June 14th that Last of Us was released. Right. The only reason I know that was because I got invited to a premiere, and it went so well. I was so happy. We got to play it. Sony was there, and Naughty Dog, what have you brought to the world? Like, I wanted a PS3 that day just for that game. I'm telling you.
Did you get one that day?
No, I still don't have it. I'm just like, I want it so bad. But I've seen fellow streamers and fellow YouTube people stream it, so I've had the chance to see the game.
Yeah.
I'm just glad to see the game, but playing the beta was so enthralling. It really was.
I've not played it. I've only seen YouTube of it and stuff like that, but it does look fantastic. I'm not even like really into my shooters and stuff, but it looks really good. It does look really good.
I went there for the crack. I went like not for the actual crack, but I went there just to see what the hell it was about.
Yeah.
And when I got there, I was just, okay, there's machines set up, there's screens everywhere, there's a Sony representative who was really cool. And I got talking to him. I was there in the middle of the place, just vlogging as you normally do, like a normal person.
Yeah.
And, you know, just walking around, just like, hey, you know, it's fine. People just like, I'm just here to play the game. I don't want to be on your camera. Go the frick away. Yeah. But when I played it, I was completely blown away by it. I really was. Naughty Dog just brought something to the game world, the gaming franchise.
Yeah.
And I'm stoked. I really am.
That's pretty cool, man. That's pretty cool.
Steven, have you played it?
No, I have not played it. I mean, honestly, I'm not too big into like story modes and stuff like that. I'm not that type of person. I just play multiplayer shooting. That's pretty much it for me.
This
multiplayers.
It's got the multiplayer, man. It's there.
Yeah, but
it's not Call of Duty multiplayer though, is it? It's not.
Yeah. Competitive.
Yeah,
I like competitive.
I'm with you on that one. Okay, fair play. I just want to really quickly say, guys, I am looking at the chat.
Yeah, so am I.
Yeah, people are saying like, people are ignoring me. No one's ignoring you guys. We are just like trying to have a proper discussion here and interact with everyone and get everything involved. Like, no one's ignoring everyone, guys. We just want to get your opinion on things, and want to get your feedback on things, but. Obviously, we're trying to have like a three-way conversation here as well. So there's a lot of conversation going on here. But yeah, this new DLC that they've just announced for The Last of Us it's pretty interesting. So this is already out now because this article is a little bit old that we are looking at, but it's been out for a couple of days then, the DLC, and they've brought a few things.
May 7th.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. So they've got a bunch of new skills that they've introduced with the DLC. They've got a bunch of new guns, and they've got 4 new maps as well, and also a new grounded difficulty mode, which makes vicious enemies even more vicious. So that sounds pretty interesting.
Yeah,
Have any of you guys in the chat played that, or just want to throw that out to you?
More challenge is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, challenges are always good. Like, if you guys have played it, what was your thoughts on the game? What's your thoughts on the new DLC and multiplayer maps that are coming out? It'd be really cool to know, because we'd like you guys to be involved as well.
Yeah. We're not trying to ignore anyone. We are trying to get involved with everyone and answer your questions and stuff. It's just sometimes it skips by us quicker than we can actually get back to it. But we'll try our best. So apologies if anyone feels like they've been ignored. It's not our intention. I promise. Yeah. So if anyone has checked out that DLC, do let us know.
If you guys have got any questions on anything that's been mentioned already during the podcast, just ask away in the chat, and we'll try to get them answered. Honestly, we will try. We will try.
We'll try our best. And, yeah, guys, just interrupt me and be like, Dan, I'm answering this question.
Like, whoa, I want to know this, and I want to know it last week. You know, you guys are supposed to be giving us some details.
So the next topic that we want to cover as well is the My Gallery portable extra storage device that Hauppauge has got out as well. This looks like a pretty cool thing. Have you guys seen this as well? Have you seen this at all? The extra storage and the Wi-Fi streaming to your phone as well from whatever, so you can stream like your music and your videos and stuff. That sounds like quite a cool little thing. Have you guys checked that out before?
Not entirely.
I tried to keep up with Hauppauge as much as possible. But when they brought out that rocket device, every message and every tweet was retweeted.
Yeah.
Like, I love the design of it. I think the fact that you can put it in your pocket and just go to your friends and just be like, okay, USB pen, compact. And the same as this. This is so compact. It is so small. You can store a ridiculous amount of storage on it.
Yeah.
You don't even have to have it connected, like, by wires. It's awesome.
128 gigabytes. That's a lot.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad, is it? Like, speaking of the rocket as well, which you just mentioned there, Skip, I think it's really interesting that you can like directly record onto USB as well. You don't need to have it like hooked up to your computer and stuff. I think that's really, really interesting that you can do that with a rocket. That's so cool.
Definitely is. I mean, there's only one other competitor. I'm not going to mention the name for legal reasons, but they have implemented an entire hard drive, whereas the rocket is just a USB pen. It's like we've all got pen drives, we've all got flash drives. They're pocket size. You can put them into a pencil case alongside the rocket. You know, including all your wires. I mean, pencil cases are tiny.
Yeah.
This is something you can literally just be like, okay, I'm going to pick up my rocket, pick up this game, go to my friends, just 5 seconds setup, and just go, all right, we've just done a dual stream. Just done a dual video, you know? Simple as that.
But folks
no
are saying,
laptop, no computer, everything.
Folks are saying, I wish the rocket could stream. That's quite interesting. That is quite interesting.
That'd be definitely a cool idea. Dr. Drill, I think the name is.
Yeah, I didn't even attempt that. I was like,
Dr. Drill, dude. Yeah, that like, yeah, like if the rocket could stream, that'd be cool. But yeah, we've got updates. We've got time.
Aye, we do. The thing with like, I've tried the whole Stream Easy thing with my HD PVR 2. I've got an HD PVR 2 gaming edition, and what I would like with that is if you could do all the overlays with it, but it is designed for like plug and play streaming your game. You've got your microphone there as well. You can do your commentary. I like to have my chat scrolling on the side. I like to have my face cam plastered on it, and a list of donators. So, if that would be something really cool if Hauppauge did include that with their streaming packages. That would be really, really interesting. Definitely.
Yeah, mainly the camera too, though.
Yeah, absolutely the camera, Stephen.
Anybody can carry a pencil case, Dr. Drew. Anybody can carry a pencil case.
It looks a little smaller than a pencil case, though. Much smaller. It looks pocket size, kind of.
That's top pocket material. That's
yeah,
top
it
material,
looks like a pocket size.
I was on about the rocket.
Size hard drive.
The rocket could definitely fit in a thing, but the My Gallery could definitely just. You'd probably slip it in with your phone if you've got a big enough case.
Yeah.
It just looks awesome.
But yeah, the rocket isn't actually technically made for streaming. That's what the HD PVR2 is made for. And as we just mentioned, that the Stream Easy is in the Hauppauge capture software. So there is that for it was Dr. Drill VGA.
Yeah.
we'll call you the doc. We'll call you the doc, dude. Yeah. So with regards to that, the rocket isn't designed for that. That is for your HD PVR2. But it's interesting that you do bring up that point. It's really interesting that you bring up that point.
Yeah, it's probably got the potential to do that.
Yeah.
But you gotta understand that it's not as powerful as it's still as great a quality and performance as the HD PVR gaming edition. But you've got to understand that if it's going to stream, it's you're going to need more of a power kick. But we'll see how it goes further down the line. There may be a Rocket 2 or something that has this functionality. As going to what Earl said, yes, HD PVR 2 for streaming is fantastic. Yes, the Xbox One does have this functionality to stream to Twitch or to YouTube without the use of a capture card. But at the same time, it's weird that they've added the choice. Now, I think they kind of know that the built-in streaming ability for the Xbox One, some people would much prefer to have their PVRs or their other companies.
Especially for recordings too. Like you can't really record that long. I mean, yeah, sure you can record like what is that? I don't even know how long it is, but not long enough for like a YouTube video, like a full gameplay.
Yeah.
That's why you would use a capture card.
I don't know about YouTube, but am I under the understanding that Xbox One's streaming ability, you can only do it for an allotted amount of time before you get kicked off?
No, I think you could do it as long as you want.
No idea, personally.
For the streaming.
Oh, okay. It's alright. I was told prior, I don't know, it was like an early update or something, that you could only do it for a small amount of time before somebody else takes that slot. But if that's not the case now, I'd still go for my PVR.
Yeah.
I'd still go for it.
I would still go back to the whole thing with like the overlays and stuff. Like that's what I would love to see out of any streaming software, with like plastering your chat and stuff like that. And I'm not trying to put anyone down or anything like that. I mean, a lot of people just want to plug and play stream, and that's absolutely fine. You can get your microphone out, you can just get your game out. And some of the most successful streamers don't have all the fancy stuff with the face cam and the chat scrolling down. Yeah, they don't have some of the most fancy people don't have that. Some fancy people, some of the biggest streamers don't have that stuff. So, it's kind of
Okay.
You take it as you come. Like let's go on. Sorry.
It's okay, Dan. I understand that, like what you were saying.
Yeah.
Myself, I have banners, I have logos, I have insignias, I have cameras, I have all kinds of things. I have trackers, especially trackers, and I don't think it's something that you can do in that yet. So your overlays and all of your logos and everything, it'd be really cool. Because every video that we have to do, we have to manually put it all back in place.
Yeah.
You can't just save it as a template. That would be really cool if you could save it as a template and then put the video underneath it. And then videos would be so much easier to make. But, Earl, you've only used the Xbox One Twitch about twice. And now you can stream as long as you want. So you were right, Stephen. And... the time limit was for recording. Okay.
That's what Doc says, right? Okay, cool. Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, the tracker for my Twitch and everything is for followers and other stuff. But yeah.
I use Moobot for that. It gives me the only tracker is for a follower, and it when it's working.
Yeah, dude, don't even get me started.
I know Twitch.
I use Nightbot.
Yeah.
I use Nightbot to help me out in the chats and alongside my mods. But holy shape, it Twitch chat just derps, and I don't know if you've had the issue. I don't want to go off topic, but I don't know if you've had the issue. Yesterday they changed their chat.
Yeah.
They changed their chat server. At 3 a.m. they changed the chat server, and it completely obliterated my Nightbot.
my chat has been screwy for like a good week and a half, maybe, and like that's streaming every day. That wears you down, you know.
It's funny because some of my chat was saying that a lot of the time they have to refresh to see what the title of the video stream is, because normally it says untitled broadcast. A lot of the time they have to refresh to get the chat to work, and they have to refresh. Let's just put it this way: F5 is their best friend with Twitch.
Yeah.
But it's, I don't know. I think it's a bad call on this Pokemon plays Twitch. Twitch plays Pokemon, because they're taking up so much of the bandwidth.
I think it's really interesting you say that, and I'd like to get your perspective on this as well, Stephen.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot of it is the League of Legends tournaments. They pull in like 100k people on
they do.
one channel, on one video, on one stream, and that is crazy. Like Justin TV will just be like, you know.
And it's the same when some of the big YouTube people, without mentioning them, they come over to Twitch once in a while, and they stream. As soon as they hit the stream button, they've got maybe 6,000 people there.
Yeah, definitely.
And then by the time they've reached optimum level, when they kind of level out, they're at like 20, 30,000 freaking viewers.
Yeah.
And I've had it. I don't know whether you've had it, Dan. You might not have had it, Steve, but in the UK, when there's one particular person that once he starts streaming, all of us smaller streamers get kicked offline straight away.
I've never had that before.
I've had it. A couple of other people in the unprofessionals and Found This Strong have had it, that are UK based.
Yeah.
They just go offline. It's our programs still say that we're streaming, but Twitch says we're offline.
I
haven't had that.
And yes, a lot of the time our Twitch messages do get eaten.
Yeah,
it's
people are saying that in the chat now, aren't they?
Are you seeing my messages? Yeah, I'm seeing this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Right. Yeah, Fluttercuddle, fire away, dude. If you got a question, just fire away, man. Fire away. Yeah. It's all good.
Oh, sweetie. She's from my streams.
Ah, cool.
So yeah, just ask us the questions, Flutter. It's cool.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Right, guys, the new Vita. Now, this is interesting because I have the original Vita. Do you guys have the original Vita, or is it not down your alley at all?
No, the only thing I've played is the PSP just for a little bit, the regular old PSP, the fat version.
Hey man, the old PSP was solid. It had some really good games on, dude. Really good games.
Yeah, I mostly played like racing games on it.
Okay.
So that's pretty cool.
Well, which games did you have for the PSP? Which racing games?
I don't even remember the games for it. I don't even remember. It was a while ago.
Right, okay.
What was...
Cool beans. I had a bunch of games for PSP, but this is before the Vita, obviously, just the regular PSP. My god, they released so many different models of it. There were about 5 or 6 PSP models. Do you guys remember them all coming out? And then eventually they just completely scrapped the whole disc compartment. They just scrapped it with a PSP Go.
I remember PSP the PSP Slim, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Then they brought out the Go with the two paddles on the back
Oh,
side.
there were like 2 or
And
3
then they
models
brought
in
out-
between that.
Then they brought out Vita, and then now we've got Slim. But I probably missed some versions of the PSP, so I'm guessing, Dan, you could fill us all in what they are.
Oh man, there was like the PSP, the first PSP, the chunky one, the one that Stephen had.
I like that one. I got big hands, man.
Man, it's got a solid feel to it. The only problem is if you ever like drop it or put it down too hard,
This could shoot out.
it just feels like you're gonna explode it. You know, that's the only problem with something that feels a bit chunkier. But there were like, honestly, there were like 4 models of the regular PSP, if not more. PSP, the first one that came out, then the 1000, then the Slim, then the Go, then this and that, and it just got ridiculous. It's like if you got one PSP, that's all you really want, unless it really brings out some functionality that you were absolutely desperate for, you know. But so they've released this new Vita, and it's an improvement mostly, apparently, the Vita Slim. I have the original Vita. I bought the PSP Vita for one game, just one game. I bought a refurbished one off eBay. I bought it for a game called Soul Sacrifice. Have any of you guys heard of that?
No. Well, hopefully you can fill us in.
I can fill you in. It's kind of like a Monster Hunter style game. Online, completely online as well. A little bit like Phantasy Star Online as well, if anyone's into that at all.
Oh, yeah.
You're into that, right?
That was good. That was very good. In
That
fact,
was
I think we've got a copy here somewhere for the
Oh,
Dreamcast.
dude, that was absolute classic. But it's all based around magic. So there's no armor, there's no weapons, there's magic to spawn a weapon out of your arm, and it's all based around like fantasy and magic, but a Monster Hunter style game like that. So it's a really, really cool game. I love like the whole Dark Souls style universe and the whole fantasy style stuff as well, so I bought it for that. So this new Vita, right, it's allegedly an improvement mostly, and I've got a regular Vita, which is pretty damn awesome. By the way, did we see Fluttercuddle's question? Is mayonnaise an instrument? Was that your question? Really?
It depends on what kind of instrument you want it to be. It could be an instrument of mess. It could be an instrument of chaos.
Of condiments?
Of condiments. You gotta be safe. Use a condiment.
Are there any other questions, guys? Have I just like completely skipped through everyone, or are we all good? Hi, everyone that's in the chat, by the way.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello. We're not ignoring
Hi, we're not crazy people.
I'm sorry.
Well,
I'm sorry. We're trying not to ignore anyone. But yes. Okay, so the new Vita, it'll cost a chunk of money. The screen's a little bit bigger. Apparently, you know,
weighs less.
It weighs less. It is lighter.
Comparison right now.
Yeah.
All I'm seeing is like a 5mm drop on the height, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's not slim. That's like I've lost a pound.
Whoa. Hang on. The one at the top is the original one. The bigger one is the new one.
It's the same style, but just a different weight. I mean, they made it a lot lighter.
Yeah, exactly. The Slim.
I was thinking it was the other way around. I thought like the bottom one.
I don't blame you for thinking
I thought
that.
the bottom one. If you don't know what the hell we're talking about, like the new PS Vita. Now I'm blown away. Is 5mm bigger than like the older one, and it's the slim version.
It's the slim version, though.
Is it the slim version by width?
I think maybe marginally, but it's meant to be. The whole slim tag is meant to be more portable, which again, it still sounds like a contradiction because it's bigger, but it weighs less.
Let's go back on Sony's slim versions of consoles. Let's go for generation, shall we? PS1 or PSX, and then PS1. That was the difference. PSX was the square top-loading one that had all the expansions on the back that was about yay big.
Aye.
And then the PS1 was about this big. You know, it was practically the disc and a button.
Yeah.
You know? And then we got PlayStation 2. It was a monster. It was like this wide and about as big as an A4 piece of paper.
It was a house. It was
It
pretty
was
much...
a monster. It was an astronomical console. It was crazy big.
Yeah.
But again, it did have all these new ports that still are unanswered, like the small, tiny, like U-shaped one at the bottom. Never used it. The USBs, never used them. There was no need for them.
No.
Some of the expansion bays underneath. What was going on there?
Yeah.
I think the slim version was like this big. It was great. It was fantastic.
Big difference.
Definitely portable.
Right.
Whereas the PS3 next generation, what do you think, Dan? Like, you know,
Fat as hell.
you had it. Like,
Yeah. I mean, classically with the slim consoles, I completely agree. They have gone down and they've been way slimmer, way slimmer. PS1, as you say, really slim. PS2, sleek as hell, sexy as hell. PS3, even the PS3 slim console was significantly slimmer. To be fair, it was significantly slimmer.
It was. The first PS3, in my eyes, looked like a George Foreman grill.
It did. It probably functioned like one. Wow. Listen to the
fans.
fans. It probably functioned like one as well. Am I right? Am I right? Come on.
Probably, but the PS3 Slimline, it looked really sexy. It looked really nice and slim.
Oh,
It was definitely more carryable.
yeah.
But this Vita,
Yeah.
what?
It's interesting. It's interesting. They say that it's only notable really when you pick it up because it feels a lot lighter. It's significantly lighter, which
Only if
fair
you
play.
picked up the previous one.
Only if you got the previous one. That's the thing. And if you do have the previous one, from what I've gathered from this information, it's not worth getting this one anyway. Unless you're like some sort of Vita enthusiast and you have unlimited funds. Being myself, I do not have unlimited funds. So
No, me either.
am I right, Steve? So, like, grabbing another handheld console that doesn't really do anything different. It's got 1 GB memory included. It's a bit lighter. The screen's a bit bigger. The buttons are a bit easier to press. But the screen is actually worse. It's less crisp and less bright. I mean, what do you guys think about that? I mean, come on.
I'm trying to save money, probably.
For quality.
Do you reckon it's like it's cost savings? Is that what you think, Steve?
Maybe a little bit. Maybe they didn't realize they don't need such a much better of a screen. It's not that big of a difference at all, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think from what they've said, it's kind of like a side-by-side thing. You put one next to another, yeah, you'll see the difference. But if you're just playing one, it looks great, you know? Playing one or the other, they both look great. I'm sure they do.
The last PSP I picked up was the first one, alongside Steve.
Yeah.
Right, and if I was to pick up the first PSP and then picked up the new one, I could tell the difference. I could, like, it looks very like it looks. You know what it looks like? It looks like a Wii U pad, just a small Wii U. That's exactly it. Like, I'm sorry, but it does. It's even got the thumbsticks in the right place.
Yeah.
It looks like a small Wii U pad. It's crazy.
Aye.
But I like the fact that it has the ability to play new games.
Yes.
That functionality where you can play new games, like Borderlands 2, for instance.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, isn't it? That's
It's pretty cool. Like, Borderlands 2 only came out, was it last year? The year before last?
Not long ago at all.
Definitely wasn't long ago. I mean, we were waiting for years for that game, and now, like, a year later, we get it on a handheld console. Like, serious?
Aye. Some people are saying it's the screen larger, and some people are saying it doesn't look larger. Some people are saying it does look larger. I think it looks bigger. The actual screen.
It looks bigger because it's also got the black bottom bar. It's all blacked out, so it's not the actual screen. You know, it's just bigger like that.
It might not actually technically be in terms of the resolution. It might not be bigger, but from what I can see of the actual screen area, just using my naked eye, the second one looks bigger. The new one looks bigger to me.
A little bit. If only by a few pixels, it's bigger. If only by like 5 pixels on the axis, it looks a little bit bigger. But it's no way I'm going to spend an extra £200 on it.
No, me neither. High five to that one.
I always high five my cam, dude. It's one of my things.
Steve, get in on that, man. Get in on that. Come on. There you
There we go.
go. All
Oh
fruits
man,
suck. What's going on there?
I'm
Like,
sorry, but if I'm gonna buy a PS Vita, I'm gonna buy the old one.
good choice. And
Quality.
get a
It's all
refurbished.
about the quality. If they can both play the same bloody games, I
Yeah.
mean, it's all about the games when we come down to it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Like they can tweak the hardware and they can tweak the software. Obviously, software changes are free, but if they can tweak the hardware to make it 5 millimeters bigger or 5 millimeters smaller,
It's not
or
gonna be much of a difference.
like a couple of grams lighter, I'm sorry, but that's not £200 worth to me,
Mm.
or $350 worth. I'm sorry, but that's just crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, everybody from my streams are popping in now.
Oh, hey guys, how's it
How's
going?
it going, everybody?
Right, so.
What's my thought on pears? They're a pretty good fruit. Yeah, they give me a lot of vitamins. I'm happy with the way they taste, and they turn upside down when you float them. It's good.
So, guys, with regards to your Hauppauges, what's everyone rocking here? What's everyone rocking here? Because I've got the gaming edition 2. Just before we move on to our next topic, I've got the gaming edition 2 here, and I use that for a lot of my recording with my PS3. Well, for all my recording on my PS3, in fact, I'll have you know. And I don't have the Rocket yet, but that looks pretty interesting. That looks pretty interesting for its like portability and stuff. What are you guys rocking?
You wanna go first, Dave?
I don't have a Hauppauge, but I've tried them in the past and it's worked out for me well. But I do not currently have any Hauppauge devices,
Okay,
so
fair
I
play.
can't really speak too much on it. But when I used the first Hauppauge HD PVR, I believe it's called, it was working pretty good for me. I had no issues, and that's what I used to use here and there on Justin.tv when it wasn't Twitch, and it worked out pretty well for me. I had good quality, and it worked no problems, no issues.
Right. Okay. That's pretty interesting.
I definitely would try the newish version of it, but yeah.
Yeah, I've always seen like the Colossus, the one called the Colossus rocking around, but I've never really checked out what that does. But it sounds epic. It's called the Colossus. It sounds absolutely epic.
Sounds
I
like a
don't
monster,
know
man.
if it's like really old or if it's like the newest one or what. But I've always been really interested by that. Like
I've got both the first HD PVR,
Yeah.
purely and simply because me and my brother wanted to stream together. I make videos together, so we have the PVR 1 and the PVR 2 gaming edition.
Mm.
So when we made a series on Twitch, on YouTube,
Yeah.
we were able to record our videos at the same time and use both of the devices. Now we use the PVR 1 for our retro consoles because of the composite fitting at the front, and then we can use it as a newer version for Xbox 360, PS3 kind of generation as well, which
Yeah.
kicks out 720p. The quality's fantastic. The stability is absolutely astronomically fantastic. And I use the PVR 2. I'll be using it as a bridge between my gaming PC and a casting PC when I get it.
Right.
Because I know that I can do that and I'll be able to do it at the best performance and quality. I like to give my videos and streams quality, and that's
Yeah.
exactly what Hauppauge gives me. It gives me the ability to give my viewers the best.
Aye.
Simple as that.
There's 3 versions of the HD PVR2. I wasn't actually aware of this personally. I've got the gaming edition. There's the gaming edition plus. So you've got
Is that the blue one?
that's just the 2. That's just the 2. I think so. In
Okay.
terms of
I've got the one with the green bar.
I've got the green bar as well. The blue bar is just the 2, and then the HD PVR gaming edition 2 is green bar. Then there's the gaming edition 2 plus as well, which is also green bar, which is like the one that does everything. That's the daddy of the HD PVR 2s. But it's pretty interesting, man. I'm just taking a look at like what they've got going, the different products that they've got available. It's quite interesting that they've got like 3 different versions of the two, so people can look at the sort of requirements that they have for their recording and stuff. But obviously, if you want portable, then Rocket's your go-to, especially if you want to record directly to your USBs and stuff. That's pretty interesting. Folks are saying in the chat that I've got the one with the green bar too. You can record PC with the HDP VR2 and the Rocket. You can record PC with the HDP VR2. Yeah. So okay, the 2 is quite popular amongst people then as well. Yeah. Okay, that's pretty interesting. That's pretty interesting. And then obviously with if you want to stream as well directly, if you want to plug in and play stream, your two's quite good. Your HDP VR2 is quite good for that.
Definitely.
So that's pretty interesting. That's pretty interesting.
A friend of mine is using another capture card, and when he was recording a video, it felt ridiculously hot.
Yeah.
Now, me and you've both got the PVR2, the gaming edition, right? Have you felt it when you're recording it?
I haven't actually. No, personally.
When you record a video, you feel it. It is stone cold.
Ah.
It is absolutely stone cold, and a lot of the issues that people have with crashes with capture devices is due to the fact that they pick up so much heat. That the heat causes crashes. It's just like if your PC was to start overheating, it's going to start jerking around and start being a little bit temperamental and unstable.
Yeah.
My PVR2 and my PVR stone cold the entire time. They never ever heat up.
Yeah, people saying that they run theirs all day.
There you go. People are running their capture cards all day, and they're not having any fluctuations in performance. They're not having any problems with it, and it's still kicking out the best possible quality. And that is all my boxes ticked. That's exactly what I want. Performance and just quality. That is it. And that's
Agreed.
exactly what I get.
Agreed. We can get an amen on that one.
Oh yeah, and a high five.
And a high five. Three-way, baby. Right, guys. Speaking of high fives, let's move on to horror. That logical connection.
No.
So who here does horror? Who here does horror? Because I don't really.
I love
Not
horror.
really.
I love playing horror. I like playing horror. But I'm a big guy. I'm like massive, right? I'm a man. You know, I'm a manly man. But when it comes to these horror games, I don't know what it is. I put on my headset and I turn out the lights, doing it proper man style, and then I sit there and I'm like this.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what to do. It's just like, oh man. Obviously, you guys in the chat, I want your reactions. If you played any horror games, let us know what you played and how you felt when you played it. Like, oh my god. What about you, Dan? Like, have you played any horror games?
I was gifted Outlast and Amnesia by my viewers because they are horrible people. Terrible people.
Nice gifts.
Lovely gifts.
Definitely considering doing horror for my stream. It's just for fun.
It's interesting. It's
definitely
interesting.
Good laughs.
Yeah, you will scream loud. If you're anything like me, you'll scream pretty loud. And if you play it at night with the lights out, you'll be screaming, and it's pretty terrifying, man. But
I'm not that jumpy with it.
You're not that jumpy with it. You're pretty good with it.
I think so.
Don't read the chat. Don't read the chat.
Oh, dude, no. Oh God, we got to check the chat. Skip played Outlast once and he left. That's written by someone called Dan is gay. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's another person from my streams. Like I made the reason that they've said that is because I did a scare quit. A lot of people do rage quits. They play games and it's like, oh, I can't do it, you know, and then just give up. No, I played Outlast, and I just scare quit. I was just like, nope, I ain't doing this. Bye. Straight up.
I don't know.
That's it. Adios. Done. Straight like video over. I don't know whether you guys in the chat or Dan or Stephen have got to a part in the game actually. It's pretty much at the beginning. Like, it literally is like 10 minutes into the game. Dan, you probably know what I'm on about.
With Outlast.
Yeah, the doorway.
Oh yeah.
The
Yeah,
first door.
I screamed pretty loud.
I flung my headset off. My Turtle Bee just never felt so neglected in their life. You know, I was just like, nope, I ain't doing this. And then I carried on for the persistence of the video, you know, to say, you know what, I'm gonna be all right. My heart was just like, nope. And then the guy on the spike, and then going through the, you know, where you have to like strafe through the bookshelves or wherever it is. And no, that was it. That was done. That's over.
Little pig.
Little pig. It was like,
Yes,
no, what? You weren't there 5 seconds ago. I saw you go through that door.
Well, Weaver says, I don't play horror games because I don't like ruining perfectly good pairs of pants. That's
Yeah, there is
Good
that.
pairs
Or
of pants.
chairs. Or chairs.
Or chairs. That's
I
true.
haven't played any of them, but I do plan on it. It should be fun.
Oh yeah, definitely play it. It's quite cheap right now on Steam.
Yeah, it's on sale, isn't it?
Actually, it's even cheaper on Humble Bundle.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure I can find a good price.
Even cheaper on Humble Bundle.
Yeah.
I know the GOG are selling it for cheap, Steam is selling it for cheap, but Humble Bundle is selling it for like £3.66, something like that.
Is that still going? Because they're doing like daily things for the autumn sale, aren't they? Is it the autumn sale? Or is it the spring sale? I don't know what it is.
Isn't it spring?
Spring, autumn, something. One
season.
What season is it? I don't know. Yeah, crazy people. But one of the season sales, and I'm not sure if it's still on sale because they were doing like daily things. So it might be, it might not be, but I think it's still on sale on Steam definitely. But check it out.
It's definitely on Steam. Definitely on Steam.
Okay.
I'm not sure how much, but yeah.
Yeah, I'll definitely check it out.
So I take it you folks haven't checked out the Whistleblower DLC then that's just come out for Outlast, because I've not checked that out yet, and I've not watched any playthroughs of it on YouTube yet either, because I kind of don't want to ruin it. But holy cow, it's a prequel.
Yes.
To the actual.
It's on sale. Humble Bundle selling it for £4.99.
Ah, nice.
I'm sorry to cut you off, dude. Carry on.
Oh no, not at all.
I just wanted to try and find out for everybody in the chat, and especially for Steven, because I'd love to see that video. I'd love to see that stream.
I would love to see that as well.
Yeah, I definitely want to let you guys know.
Steven's just like completely unfazed by it, just like, nope, not scared at all.
I don't think I'd be scared that much. I'll jump probably once, twice. I don't think I don't know. I'd laugh at things like that.
Really?
Yeah.
You got a good sense of humor, man. I wish I could laugh at that stuff.
He hasn't played it yet.
Yeah, haven't played it yet. That is true.
We'll see. We'll see.
Like, somebody asked me if I was gonna get Whistleblower DLC, and I was like, no. If you guys actually buy it for me, I'll stream it, but only because you bought it.
Yeah. I'm of that opinion as well. It looks pretty terrifying. Looks pretty damn terrifying. But yeah, there's a lot of buzz around it. Loads of the big YouTubers are covering content for it. Obviously, we've got the big horror people that do it, like Markiplier with PewDiePie and all that sort of stuff. And it looks like it'll be really interesting. But I kind of want to play through the whole of the main game because it was gifted to me as well. So I would like to play through all of that and check out the DLC at some point. And it looks good. It looks good. I mean, they've got an absolute amazing crew working on these guys that have worked on like AAA titles have all like banded together to make the Outlast games. So
if I was wearing a hat, I'd take it off to them. I tip my fedora at the people, man, because honestly, to make skip play Whistleblower, no hashtag skip play Whistleblower. If they can make a game that makes you jump. Now I remember the original horror game, like Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Recently Silent Hill. Those games, like, I didn't want to go through a door. When it comes to a part when you want to play a horror game and you're sitting there and you're like a 13-year-old kid, I'm sure you remember, Dan. You're sitting there and you're like, okay, I've cleared this area. Now I don't know open this door. I know I've got to go through this door. And like you click the button and the door gives you this like sequence where the door opens.
It makes this creaking noise.
Shuts behind you, and you're like, and then the screen appears, and you're in a room infested with zombies that are just running at you, and you're like, oh no! It's that kind of fear in a game. If you're gonna go under the horror or terrifying genre of gaming,
Yeah.
I think that the developers of Outlast have absolutely nailed it.
Absolutely, absolutely. But
Absolutely nailed it.
the really interesting thing about it is it's kind of like muscle memory in a way, and it's kind of like training for something. Because like I had like zero tolerance for horror. I played Amnesia for a little bit, which was gifted to me first, and I found that so terrifying. People are saying I need to finish that. Giraffe saying I need to finish that, and people saying all sorts of stuff about the horror games. But at first, I really struggled just to sit there and play through it, you know. And then after a bit, you do train yourself, and you do learn how to like kind of handle it. And then playing Outlast, I was like, okay, what's happening next? What's happening next? And then it gets to the point where you actually like you're kind of getting quite excited by it. It's pretty interesting. So you do actually train yourself. You do get into it. Honestly, you do.
I'm reading the chat, man. The people in the chat are absolutely awesome. I'm not playing new DLC for Outlast, but where is it? once Resident Evil, when the dogs jumped through the window, Earl's controller went up in the air and then checked his pants. Oh man, some of the comments are too funny, like collected leavings. That's just. Have you read that? That's awesome.
That is good. That is a good one. Resident Evil, that's going old school, man. If we're talking like PS1 and stuff. I think it was PS1, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the PS1 release. I think it was like 98, 99 release.
Right.
It's old.
Resident Evil and Silent Hill, man. That is going old school. That's good. That's what I like to see. Wow. But yes, Whistleblowers on our wish list at some point. Well, gift list maybe. Maybe not wish list.
I'd buy it.
Not even gift list. You'd buy it.
No, it's not even on my wish list. I know there are people in the chat saying I need to play this. No.
You know they're gonna make you play it anyways.
I don't want you to play it.
It's gonna happen.
Keep your money in your pockets.
I'm gonna buy it for you.
No, don't do this.
Right, guys. Our next topic is Destiny. The Destiny that everyone has been excited about for a very long time. Now, $500 million.
I can afford it.
That is a lot of money. Activision has blown $500 million on Destiny and needs 15 million sales at $60 a pop. So this is...
To break even.
This is completely just looking at new sales, forgetting about the pre-owned market, people that buy the game for half the price, and the devs and the publishers and all those people see nothing from it. It's completely forgetting about that. They need 15 million sales to break even now. What do you guys think about this? What do you guys think about $500 million on Destiny with the combined development and promotional costs? What do you guys think about that?
I think that they'll blow past it, in my opinion. Destiny, I don't know. It's just everybody's gonna want it. I think they're gonna blow right past 15 million.
Okay, interesting. Are you of the same opinion, Skip, or?
I don't think that the analyst prediction for $60 is going to be the price. I think it's going to be more. Okay. I'm being deadly serious, because if you think about it, $60 was the price that you'd pay for a 360 game.
Mm-hmm.
Now the games are a little bit more. It's like £60 for a Xbox One or PS4 game. So I believe it's going to be about $75 for the game. And for the 15 million sales, I reckon they'll get that in a week. I'm not even joking. Like, there's been so much hype on it. I think they brought it originally at E3 2013. They brought in the idea of what was happening.
Yeah.
You know, I think they brought in the concept art and what was about to happen. But I think that Activision saved a lot of money on Call of Duty Ghosts in order to fund this project.
Okay, interesting.
I think they'll just blow past it, just like Steve said. I reckon they'll do it. I reckon they'll hit 20 million in a week.
Okay. Well, you guys are aware of the record-breaking sales that GTA 5 had and all that sort of stuff, aren't you?
Yeah.
That was just to give you a comparison, and this is listed in the article as well. That's 32.5 million units sold, and that was nearly $2 billion made by GTA 5. They were breaking records fast. Skip and Steve, they were breaking records
They were.
fast
they
for
were.
GTA 5.
It was
Definitely
insane.
were. I'm completely with you. Like,
Do you think Destiny's gonna pull that?
Yeah, because I mean, like a GTA, everybody was wanting a new, GTA.
Yeah.
And Destiny is like, like the Halo. It came from Bungie,
Yeah, that is
so
true.
everybody's waiting for it. Everybody's hyped about it.
Okay, but what about its like competition with Titanfall? What about its competition with the new Call of Duty and all that and all these other FPSs?
I think with I think even Activision have put more money into their Destiny game than they did for Call of Duty Ghosts.
Okay.
Which means that I don't think that Call of Duty Ghosts, Call of Duty Ghosts, the Call of Duty franchise, let's say, not just singling out one game. I think that the Call of Duty franchise has already got that run of dedicated players and people, exactly the same for Halo.
Right.
I think that Destiny is gonna I think the only other competitor is Titanfall.
Yeah.
I think that's the only other competitor, and that's Titanfall, which was also, surprisingly enough, ladies and gentlemen, an Activision member that left.
Okay. Interesting. I didn't know that. I didn't know that personally.
Yes. Titanfall was an Activision. I think he was either a CEO or a director. He was high up. He left Activision and started work on Titanfall.
Okay.
He wanted to give the players what they needed, a new game. And the Destiny, another fun fact, was there was a guy that was recreating Morrowind with the Skyrim features, like all of the Skyrim textures. It was called Skywind.
Okay.
Surprisingly, I swear to God, Google it. It was called Skywind. Now, the guy that was recreating that actually got offered the chance to work alongside some of the leading developers and artists for Destiny.
Okay.
So it could be good. With the work that this one guy did over a course of 12 months in his bedroom, he made something fantastic.
Yeah.
If they've got people on board like that, Destiny's going to it's just going to go crazy. Absolutely just surpass everything that's on the market right now. But that's one person's view. Chat, what do you think?
Aye. Well, people are saying like Destiny's got 4-player co-op. It's got speeder bikes. What else do you need to know? Other people are saying, but Rockstar makes awesome games, so Rockstar were able to pull it off.
Yeah, definitely. What Steven was saying, they wanted a GTA 5 game, which is why they broke records so fast.
Yeah, and they were fast as well, weren't they, guys? I mean, we all remember
literally
that.
2-3 days they broke the first record.
Crazy. Some people, Weaver, saying, I'm looking at the Destiny website, I'm not seeing anything interesting. That's another interesting point of view for people that aren't into the old FPS genre, much like myself as well, more into the RPG scene. Destiny has the whole thing about, where Titanfall has the whole thing about, you get the Titan, and that's like the kind of USP with that game. Destiny has once you reach a certain score, you unleash like a superpower type thing, doesn't it? That's the area that Destiny's going for, isn't it? And obviously 4-player co-op is a different angle as well. That's pretty interesting. I don't know how many games do the 4-player co-op thing.
Speeder bikes.
Yeah.
Speeder bikes. I like what they're doing with it. I do. I like the direction. I think Activision have tried to make a new game.
Yeah.
I think they took on board what the fellow employee was going on about, but they didn't want to do a Titan kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I think Destiny was their other direction, which has been pretty closed up until recently. Yeah. As for the sales, yeah, I think they'll do it.
Fair enough.
It'll be blown up.
Just one more interesting thing for you guys here. You might not be aware of that. Dark Knight Rises. I'm sure you've heard of this film.
Oh yeah, I love it.
I'm sure you have.
Yep.
that cost $230 million
Yep.
after tax credits to make.
Yep.
It's insane.
That's Dark Knight Rises, and Activision has spent $500 million on Destiny. That's more than double.
I don't even see how that would be.
That's crazy, isn't it? Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Just to put it into perspective, that is absolutely crazy, isn't it?
Now, we all remember The Dark Knight Rises, and that was like a 3-hour film of cinematics, action scenes, you know, even when it came to, you remember the beginning bit, the very opening bit with the plane in the air that gets hijacked, yeah, without trying to give anything away, like, it's literally the first few minutes. That was all real.
Okay, cool.
That was all real. So if they can take a plane and do what they did with that, I think the amount of money that they spent on that isn't even half the amount that Activision spent on the game.
Yeah.
I think for 500 million on a game, I want something fantastic.
Yeah.
I want something that Bane will cower to.
Yeah, like that real ass plane scene and stuff. That's insane. That's just like, that's insane. Like, that blows me away. Alright, okay.
Oh,
Just-
chat. By the way, sorry, Dan.
Yeah,
by the way, guys, we really enjoy your questions, and this is going to probably be an ongoing thing, on probably either weekly or bi-weekly thing. We haven't ironed out the creases yet, so to let you guys know, in an email, if you want to drop a follow to any of us and the stream, especially the stream, drop a follow at Hauppauge Gaming, and you'll know when it goes live. That is a good point, and I don't know about you guys, but it's definitely something that they should do. Like,
Yeah,
following the stream lets them know when we go live.
Absolutely, absolutely, and all the links are below as well for like social media, for getting involved with the Twitter and the Facebook and stuff like that, guys. So I would encourage you, if you are digging the podcast, if you are digging the style, definitely check those out. And as Skip says, drop a cheeky follow to the old Hauppauge Gaming stream, and all of our individual streams as well. If you like our style, if you like Steven's style, if you like Skip's style, if you like my style, definitely drop us a cheeky follow as well. We do appreciate that support there, guys.
Yeah, we all come from different. We stream different games, so if it's RPGs you want, then Dan's your man. If you want Call of Duty, then Steven's the one to go to. If you want Minecraft, then come and drop yourself in my stream.
Okay.
It's as simple as that.
Aye. We'll just we'll cover one more topic then, folks, and then we'll move off there and leave everyone to it. Just before we make a move, I think it would be really interesting to talk about what happened to Nintendo, because they've been in the spotlight. They had to apologize for not putting gay marriage in the new Tomodachi Life game that they've released.
I haven't heard about this one.
I haven't heard about that.
Well, what happened was they got absolutely flamed for it. It's like I'm not entirely sure what the game's about. It's like about socializing and stuff. It's a typical Nintendo game with that sort of respect. They got absolutely flamed for not putting it in, and then their response to it was pretty much, yeah, well, we imagined the game universe to be like this, so that's how it is. Sorry. And then they got flamed for it again. And then they put out a fully fledged apology for it, which is very good of them, actually. And they said, well, in future installments for Tomodachi Life, we will be much more inclusive of everyone, really, of our audience and all those sorts of people. And what do you guys think about that? Do you think game universes should have the right to create their own sorts of styles with this sorts of things with regards to, I don't know, sexuality and religion? It's quite a deep thing to think about, but it gets people really riled up when they're not more inclusive.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the game should be able to do whatever they want. I don't know what the game is truly about, but I mean, I don't know. I don't think people should really be, but I can see why it's a big deal.
All right. Okay. Fair enough. That's interesting, because it's had a lot of criticism. A lot of criticism.
I think that if they go down the road. I think what they was trying to avoid was the fact that people would have the option, and I'm just going off what you said, Dan, about the whole situation not being included in the game. I don't think that sexuality and religion should be included in games because that could cause rivalries between different communities of gamers.
Good point.
Because
Be friendly though.
It should like gaming it should be a friendly thing. And I know Stephen, like I used to play Call of Duty a lot, and I used to get flamed and trolled and all that kind of stuff. But when it comes to I don't know, playing a Tamagotchi game or playing Animal Crossing or playing a single player game, I want an option would be cool to have it, but I know that people are going to take it too far.
Yeah.
People take things too far, and
it's just a video game.
Well, some people are saying sexuality shouldn't come into games. Some people are saying sexuality is part of life, so it's hard to keep it out. Some people are saying, well, I'm gay, so I feel very strongly about that. You know, it's an interesting it's a really interesting topic, and it does promote a lot of healthy discussion about it.
What I think Nintendo should do is offer the people the choice to have it in the game. Like have it in the game, but you have the choice what direction you want to go down.
Yeah.
As for I mean, that's the sexuality thing. I mean, a lot of people are going to get amped up about it not being in the game, but then if it's included in the game, they're going to get amped up when people are like, "Oh, you're gay, you're a lesbian, you're."
Either way, they're going to get hate for it.
They're going to get hate for it either way, and that's not good for the people that it's being targeted to. You know, like I don't know. I think they should have it in the game as a choice.
Okay, fair enough. That's fair enough. Just very quickly, let's cover the last topic as well, just because we've got just a little bit more time as well. We'll really quickly cover it. It's not too much to say about it anyway. Bound by Flame. Have you guys heard of this game that's just been released recently? Bound by Flame?
No.
It's a action RPG. It's very much so in the spotlight, quite similar to the Dark Souls style of gameplay, but it's just really interesting because it was it looked like it had a lot going for it, but around the boards, it's pretty much been flamed. Bound by Flame has been flamed, and it's got a Metascore on Metacritic of 56.
What does it go up to?
The Metascore?
Yeah.
It goes up to 100.
Wow.
Oh.
So you'll be looking at awesome games getting like 80, 85, 90, above 90. But 56. Yeah, not a great score. Not a great score.
Not at all.
No, and it kind of prompted me because the user score is quite a lot higher than the Metascore from the professional reviewers and things. So, what do you guys think about user scores versus professional review scores? Do you think that the professional review scores are hurting the industry? Some people can get paid off to do stuff like that. User scores can sometimes be more reliable as well. Sometimes. What do you guys think?
I don't know. Professional. I don't know. What professionals are we talking about though? Like.
I mean gaming outlets. I'm talking GameSpot. I'm talking IGN. I'm talking Kotaku. You know. Those sorts of things.
I've just Googled the game, and it has a remarkable likeness to The Witcher.
Yeah. Okay.
It looks good, but yeah, you're right. Professional critics, they have a preference. They have a personal preference to games.
Yeah.
So if that critic is a Call of Duty fan, say, they're gonna amp up the Call of Duty franchise. If they're a hater of RPGs, that's gonna go down. And yeah, they can get paid off by companies if they're susceptible to it. I just think that the Metascore for public are the people that have played the game.
Yeah.
If they don't like it, they'll tell you. If they do like it, they'll tell you again. So I think it's a really cool way that, say, if I was to make a review, I'd do a review based on that game and that game alone. I wouldn't do it in comparison to another game. it's solely for that game, and I think that's where some professional critics mess up. Personal experience with a game. If you want to rant about it, you're gonna rant on, and the Metascore is gonna get a specific score for that. So in comparison to professional and user made data, I'd probably go for the public one.
Interesting. People are
Yeah,
saying
public would be a lot better.
Yeah. Well, people are saying in the chat that the user scores can be faked as well, and people can be paid to play a game and say good things about it, like YouTubers and things. That's pretty interesting. That is pretty interesting. I have heard about that, but with a lot of those things with YouTubers as well, they have to provide full disclosure on that, you know, and they have to put it in their descriptions, and they have to explain that. But it's just an interesting thing to think about. It's a really interesting thing to think about. Have you guys got anything else you want to say about that really quickly?
I think we're good. I'd side with public.
Fair play. Yourself, Steve?
No, I think it should be all public, not like professionals. Like, I don't know. But then again, they could be paid off in both sides, you know.
They can be. They can be. And when there's room to make money, people are going to do it, and that's why the professionals exist.
Yeah,
So-
exactly. But going off what Steve said, at the same time, companies are going to be targeted first. If you think about 100 companies, that all 100 are going to be contacted.
Yeah.
If you think about public, only a certain amount of people that showcase games on Twitter, on Twitch or YouTube are going to be contacted. So it's only going to be like a 15% thing. So I think the other 85% of the public Metascore is the one to go for.
Fair play. Fair play.
Judging by statistics.
Okay, that's pretty interesting. Well, it's food for thought. It's food for thought.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm glad you brought it up.
Yeah. Well, that's I actually nipped that on at the end with the topics there, and I mentioned that to Joe, and I nipped that on just because I thought it wasn't about Bound by Flame, and it wasn't about the score that received. It was just about the professional review scores versus user review scores, and I really wanted to get your opinion on that, guys. But I think if we're all okay with that, we'll wrap it up there, folks, and call it a night. And what we can do there is say thank you, everyone in the chat. Thank you so much for joining us.
To everybody. It's
thank you.
Awesome,
thank you
hasn't
so
it?
much.
Yeah, and thank you from myself as well. I'm sure you want to say thank you as well, Steve, and you want to say thank you, Skip.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming down. I know that we've all of our followers of Hauppauge, or however you want to pronounce it. And then you got Steven's followers and Dan's followers and the people that are here that are supporting me and the podcast. It's great to see you guys all just in one place. Thank you so much for being here. It's been a pleasure.
Aye. Stephen, you wanna fire over a quick thank you?
I just want to thank for everyone that stopped by and helped us out. I'm glad we can hear you guys' opinions and say our opinions on things, all these topics, and it's just fun making discussions about these type of things.
It was a good one. It was a good one. And guys, we all want to say a massive thank you to Joe as well for managing the stream and setting this all up. He's been working behind the scenes. It's Stream Team Joe there, the mod in the chat there, that's been posting up the topics as we've been talking about it. So guys, in the chat as well, give your love, give your appreciation, give a massive thank you to Joe as well. Thank you so much. Drop us a follow here at Hauppauge Gaming as well. Go over to our channels and drop us a cheeky little follow as well. Drop Stephen a follow. Drop Skip a follow. Drop myself a follow as well if you like our styles. But yeah, it's been awesome. It's been awesome. Thank you so much, and thank you, Joe. Really, really cool. And we'll wrap it up there. Hopefully, we'll see you guys again really, really soon. Maybe in a week's time or something. Okay. Take it easy, guys. See you later.
See ya.
High five!
Bye. Bye.